Silk is one of the world's finest, most exquisite and delicate fabrics. Historically, it has been a cloth exclusively for royalty and aristocrats for thousands of years until now. Silk, the queen's fibers, was discovered in 2640 BC by the third wife of China's third emperor, according to Chinese legend. Today, around 200,000 metric tons of silk is produced in the world. China, India, Japan, Iran, Ghana, mentioned but a few. However, the demand for pure natural silk exceeds the current supply. Silk-producing countries such as Japan and South Korea have greatly declined because of industrialization. Developing countries such as Uganda are now stepping forward to fill the gap. Mr. Syed Muhammad Ali, an Iranian investor, saw Uganda as the ideal country to introduce sericulture.
I started the silk project in 2011. During the 8 years activity, now we reached to our target, which is the expansion of the silk culture business in Uganda, because there is the long background in the country. Now we have over 200 acres of the rich mulberry garden with the different variety of the mulberries, and we have the facility for rearing over 1 million silkworm per month, and we are in the second phase of the project, which is planning for rearing 600 boxes of the silkworm per month.
All qualitative feasibility studies have confirmed that Uganda's warm temperatures ranging between 18 and 30 degrees Celsius and abundant rainfall is the ideal weather for sericulture. The production of silk from silkworms is referred to as sericulture.
We have the different climates. One of the important issue of the silk production in Uganda is the climate. This leaf, 12 months of the years is green. We don't have any months of the years which the tree and the leaf is not green. Means the building and the construction which we are going to have for the rearing house, instead of rearing 2 times a year, we can go up to the 10 times a year. And that is the time which we can get the result.
The Ministry of Agriculture set up a task force in Ministry of Science and Technology to expand sericulture to farmers all over the country, starting with 120 districts.
However, this was at a time when, earlier on in 1990s, sericulture had been promoted in over 22 districts in Uganda, and many people had grown mulberry, had learned the art of cocoon production, but at that time there were no factories and no industries, and therefore people felt frustrated and they abandoned sericulture. And so 2003, when this factory was commissioned, there was hope that sericulture was going to take off.
We are now taking off with the support of government. Now, you will hear that the Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation, they are in it. The Minister of Agriculture is in it.
So what is the approach that the government is using and which we are actually implementing? We identify commercial farmers like Muhammad or Iran Agro-Industrial Group, because such have put in resources, but we want to boost them to reach commercial production such that they get volumes that are exportable. Now these volumes, once they begin to export, Uganda is employing more people, Uganda is taxing them, and then the money is also recovered in the form of a revolving fund.
The ministry is working together with Iran Agro-Industrial Group to support outgrower farmers to join the program by supplying mulberry stems, breed silkworm eggs, and supply cocoons.
Of course, the issue is that we also wanted to do research to find out if we have challenges of rearing. Can we have farmers who can be able to produce just leaves? And then we buy leaves from these farmers, just like you buy tea leaves, and we have centralized, controlled rearing. And then we have to do research to know at how much cost can the leaves be, and also what type of leaves do you need to buy, and what makes economic sense. So we've been doing that research on the best way and the best price for getting leaves. We have also been looking at the issue of rearing cocoons. What's the best way, either using centralized rearing or having each individual having a rearing house. We have also been trying out new models of rearing. Instead of building a house, maybe using tarpaulin and makeshift structures, as long as they can be warmed, to do rearing. Also with success that has been registered with the private sector, including Mr. Muhammad from Iran, who was able to come and put up over 180 acres of mulberry growing. Plus other people are interested, people from other countries who are coming in to take advantage of our weather to engage in mulberry production. We as government, we are also supporting the Council for Science and Technology and an organization called TRIDI, Tropical Institute for Agriculture, to expand the mulberry growing to over 14 districts now in Uganda.
Then we also supported his farmers with training on farm in the real practice of silkworm rearing, and they have been able to produce very good quality cocoons. We work in collaboration with other institutes. For example, the International Center for Insect Physiology and Ecology, which has also trained some of our farmers and the technical staff. We collaborate with an institute in India where most of the technical staff have been also trained.
My point of thanks goes to our investor, Mr. Muhammad Ali Muzavi. Over 100 people are working here. From planting, we come to weeding, we come to the harvesting, we go to the rearing. All those jobs have been created for the people.
Normally, in the agricultural activity or any activity, there is the three important points to develop and to bring the profit and encourage the people to do the business. First of all, opportunity, which we have in Uganda, good rain, good soil, manpower. Second, the material. Now we can say in Uganda, through the cooperation of the Kawanda Research Center and Ministry of Agriculture, we developed the high variety of the mulberry tree, which can produce even up to 100 metric ton per year.
The fabric's elastic natural fibers are produced by a silkworm that feeds on fresh mulberry leaves. Mulberry is a perennial crop. Once planted and established, economic yield continues for more than 30 years with little expenditure on maintenance.
Why new mulberry races? The science advances such that we have races that have more nutrients and more fiber in it. When the silkworm begins to eat, it converts the fiber in the mulberry into a one continuous string. So we continue to feed them on mulberry that can give more length. Right now we are using mulberry that can give a minimum of around 1,000 meters of length from one silkworm. But we are looking at growing that length.
Mulberry cultivation and silkworm rearing is now carried out in the district of Shema, Bushenyi, Kanungu, Kiruhura, Kabarore, Muwende, Wakiso, Mpiji, Luero, and Kamuli. The farmers in these districts are clustered under the umbrella body of the Uganda Silk Producers Association.
other extension workers who are recruited at the district level, and those are the entomologists in the field of silviculture in different areas. We have also trained a number of farmers who come there, and they are trained hands-on how to handle the silkworms, how to feed them, and how to identify different varieties of mulberries at the center.
We managed to train over 30 people in India in this art. These were people from university who had done zoology, entomology, agriculture, and forestry.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries is keen on promoting sericulture, and through the Department of Entomology has established a National Sericulture Center in Uganda to provide quality silkworm eggs to farmers, mulberry cuttings, training demonstrations and advisory services, and promoting post-harvest cocoon production.
Of having the land, this is a highly rewarding enterprise. So our focus is to ensure that the Uganda government and its citizens use the latest technologies in mulberry production, the latest technologies in rearing the silkworm, and this involves, we have lots of facilities and equipment and tools that are used in rearing itself. And then after that, we also have to ensure that the government uses the latest, or the Ugandan citizens uses the latest technologies for processing the silk cocoons into silk yarn.
Post-harvest cocoon processing has also been introduced to add value to silk because the market is enormous.
I'm ready here, and I promise to our dear farmer in Uganda, if we produce up to 10,000 metric ton of the dry cocoon, we have the market abroad.
The markets for silk yarn include China, India, Iran, Japan, among others. The export earnings outcompete any other agricultural products.
Cocoon production or silk production is more rewarding to farmers. In Uganda here we have farmers growing things like maize, of course for food. But if we talk in terms of money, a farmer hardly makes $300 from 1 acre of land. When we tune to silk production, by just producing from the same acreage, the farmer is making at least $3,000. So that is 10 times the common enterprise that the farmer is producing.
The challenge with sericulture is in production, because currently farmers use peddles, hand-reeling machines and hand looms whose output cannot meet the global demand. In lieu of the above, it is prudent that Ugandan silk farmers acquire automated machines to increase production.
By the help of God, I finish this rearing house. Per month, we can rear something like 600 to 700 box of the silkworm. That is between 13 to 14 million silkworm per month. Silk beyond textiles.
We are grateful to the International Sericulture Commission for the technical advice and support, and the organizing committee of the 25th International Congress on Sericulture and Silk Industry in Japan for more support in this silk revolutionary program in Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.